anticipated mid-season SEC matchups on the calendar this year.
This is where you see Texas A&M is a really efficient team in the half court. They will move the ball from side to side and try to find a quality look and take advantage of the defense.
Rashawn Agee sent back by Aiden Sherrill, the #2 shot blocker in the conference so far. This is just the second time this Bama starting lineup has been used, and Amari Allen back in the starting lineup, coming off his first game returning from an ankle injury.
Well, Allen is a really big piece to what Alabama's trying to do. He can do so many things, and you see an outside shot already from Marcus Hill. This is the type of ball game you're going to see some end-to-end action, looking for advantages early in the offense by both of these teams.
Two teams that rank inside the top 15 nationally in three-point field goals made and attempted. Expect to see a lot of them hoisted tonight at Coleman Coliseum.
It's a team that can get it done by running the offensive team off the three-point line, not allowing them to shoot the ball comfortably.
Here comes Labaron Philon, one of the top scorers in the conference. Aiden Holloway can shoot from anywhere in the gym.
Really good defense by Texas A&M.
Right, so with 3 to shoot. Extra pass, heave from Allen.
That's just phenomenal work right there for the Aggies. They do a really good job of running Alabama off the line, and they executed right there in that set.
Agee knocks down a 3.
Rashawn Agee can hit that shot, and A&M is already back in the press. A little over 2 minutes in this game, 5 attempts total for both of these teams, all three-point field goals. And this lets you know what type of night it's going to be.
Aiden Sherrill banging in the post with Agee. Well defended, last touched by Sherrill, and it's going back the other way.
Texas A&M really does a really good job taking advantage and finding a clean look. And Rashawn Agee on that pick and stand at the top of the key lines one up and strokes it.
The unquestioned leader, not only in his scoring and rebounding, but as the emotional captain of this team, which features 14 new players. Dominguez offline.
This is you see Aiden Sherrill having to bring the ball up against this pressure as the guards for Texas A&M are denying, not allowing Alabama to get it up with ease.
Right, so got away with a push there. Rebound hauled in by Marcus Hill. And Hill takes it coast to coast off the back iron. Holloway pushing the pace for the #1 team in the country in tempo. Good feed inside Sherrill, and he just missed. Tied for the best start in SEC play since Texas A&M joined the conference over 10 years ago. That's 7-1. Atop the league as of now, and Hill gets to the cup with the right hand.
Well, you see that Texas A&M can play a little bit of small ball, and Bediako checks right into the game. Marcus Hill takes advantage of that and takes him all the way to the basket. And they're switching up some defenses.
Amari Allen from downtown.
That's a huge shot for Alabama, and Allen coming in shooting that ball with a lot of confidence.
Allen, the 3-time SEC Freshman of the Week, despite some of the injuries, kicks it out to Millett. That's a 3.
Well, that shot was created by Amari Allen once again, getting a piece of the paint. That dribble drive move allowed the defense to rotate over, and Houston Millett lined it up.
And that is a good sign for Marcus Hill, who is shooting just 15% from 3 in league games, already his second of the night. Philon, baseline pass, Bediako's first points of the night.
The inside in this lineup is where Alabama can have a little bit of an advantage, but they're going to have to get it done efficiently on those dump-offs and then attack on offensive rebounding.
Griffin, the former Alabama star who was a major piece in Alabama's run to the Final Four in 2024 offline. Allen a three. Philon taps it in. Millette couldn't finish. Second effort. And it's picked off by Dominguez. Griffin again left open. Not going to miss that too many times.
Beautiful job by the Aggies. The organization in which they came down in transition and the extra pass by Dominguez to Griffin.
Millette corner three. Can't respond. Bediako taps the offensive board. And a fresh 20 for Alabama. Have not seen a shot attempt by Philon till now, and the floater is good for the fourth leading scorer in the SEC.
Labaron Philon is going to have a big game. And it's not just on the offensive end. Defensively, he's going to have to start taking the tone and setting the tone for Alabama.
Well, Hill left open again. That would have been tipped by Bediako. And now Amari Allen. Millette.
Bediako had the mismatch down low. Alabama shoots the three-pointer. It's one of those possessions you might want to have back.
Well, that was stripped by Philon. Excellent defense, 3-on-1. And Bediako.
Some really good shooters on the perimeter. They would press and trap a little bit, but he was more so a half-court coach when they would execute, and that's where you'll see a lot of things from Texas A&M. I think it's a misconception that they are a team that only plays fast and shoots early. When they get in the half-court set, they really operate well.
Josh Holloway drills a three. He's averaging less than 2 points per game in league play. Philon off the bounce, given a little bit more room than he initially anticipated. That's his second bucket.
There's the crafty ability of Labaron Philon. That hesitation move allowed him to get freed up.
Bediako fighting with Federico. And it'll stay here with A&M. We have a quadruple header on Saturday in SEC men's hoops, but this is the premier matchup right here on the SEC net at 3:30 Eastern. Vanderbilt off to an excellent start against an Oklahoma team that has given fits to a lot of the teams they have played. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. 5 losses in league play by single digits.
Yeah, the Sooners just haven't been able to close out games. And Vanderbilt started off hot this season, hit a little bit of a lull, but they're starting to get their swagger back. That should be a good one.
Everybody chasing Texas A&M at the moment. They've won 4 in a row. Their lone conference loss on the road by single digits to Tennessee. Reitzel a three. Bediako almost snatched his second offensive board. And now Pop Isaacs, one of the best bench players in the conference. Deba curling, left it short. Sherrill fighting for it. Federico on the floor. And Millette tied him up. And the possession arrow points to the tie.
And that's just an outstanding individual effort by Houston Millette. And that's a 50-50 ball. And in this game, that's a must-win for Alabama. They're going to have that type of spirit to get it done because of the relentless play of Texas A&M will not let up.
Now, Nate Oates talked about it this week in his preview of this matchup. They had to match the intensity and the willingness of Texas A&M for all 2 hours tonight, something they did not do in the 100-77 loss to Florida over the weekend. And a whistle on the floor. He said that them playing harder is the key. That was addressed this week in practice. So far, we have seen it from the Tide with a slight edge at the under-12 timeout of the first.
Level that they expected with this team, but a big opportunity against the #1 team here on their home court.
Some of that, of course, is the injuries. Well documented. Just 2 players for Alabama this year have played in all 21 games. Again tonight, Taylor Bowen came into the day questionable. He is on the bench in street clothes, not available for the Tide, along with a host of other season-ending injuries, which has not only affected the lineup on the floor, but who's available at practice from day to day here in Tuscaloosa.
Well, listen, the attitude has to be next man up. And you can talk about injuries and players not being available, but the other team doesn't care about the 5 guys you have out there on the court. Alabama is a team that comes in with a big target on their back for many reasons, and mainly because of their talent and high expectations. But you have to step up ready to play. And there's Latrell Wrightson right there knocking one down.
He specifically was challenged this week by Nate Oates to be more of a leader. The lone returner from their Final Four team 2 years ago. Isaac's a 3. And a good rebound by Sherrill.
You can see even after a make, Texas A&M miss. Texas A&M is jumping into pressure. If you're Alabama, you have to be prepared. Really good job by A&M putting the pressure on and getting back, now playing in the half court.
Wrightsell off the bounce. Snakes the baseline. Jemison rattles in a triple.
That's really good poise right there. They handled the pressure well, got it into the half court, and had enough patience to move the ball from one side to another. Jemison, the recipient of that pass.
AG off the window, stopping an Alabama 8-0 run. And now Jemison step through and the kiss.
That's an elite level move right there for the freshman. He was going full speed with a really good defender and Griffin on him, and that Euro sidestep move.
Great backdoor feed. AG to Isaacs, just couldn't finish over the contact. And now Holloway. And he was pushed by Josh Holloway. 3rd foul on A&M.
Alabama has started to handle this pressure really well, but it's the extra passing and ball movement. That beautiful pass by Wrightsell over to Jemison, and Jemison once again in transition with the nifty footwork. Really good action by number 6 in White.
And now 4 fouls on Texas A&M. Lob inside to Jemison. How about that for a side out of bounds play?
Well, listen, we touched on it. It's a next man up mentality when you're Alabama. You've had some injuries and you get an opportunity to play, and this freshman Jemison is making the most of his time.
Philon had it poked out of bounds. It'll stay here.
Another baseline out of bounds opportunity, but you can see freed up on this baseline. You're going to see London Jemison. He sees that he has a lane right there, and just a pinpointed pass right off the sidelines, and that recognition, freshman to freshman, from Amari Allen to London Jemison.
Inside to Allen with 2 early threes in this game. Alabama shooting 42% from distance to start. Bediako tries. And Allen cannot corral the board. Here comes Marcus Hill.
Why not? Everyone else is shooting threes. I guess Bediako's getting in on the action.
And last touched by Texas A&M. But one of the questions coming into this game, how would Alabama handle the constant pressure of Texas A&M, who leads the conference in turnover rate? Of course, Alabama, the least amount of turnovers in the SEC until now, just their 2nd of the game. So far, Richard, besides that play right there, they've handled it well.
Well, this is a breaking point in the game for Alabama in the first half. It's a team that knows they're talented. They can score with ease. You got a 9-point lead, and a lot of your baskets have come easily in this game. But you got to understand, Texas A&M is going to continue to put the pressure on you, and they will not blink. They've been in this situation before, and if you're Alabama, you have to continue to beat the pressure collectively and not relax.
At one point this season, they trailed on the road at Auburn by 16, and 28 seconds later, it was a 5-point game because of plays like that. Alley-oop to Vincent.
That's a beautiful designed action. And it was created from the turnover that they had. And plays like that can change the momentum of the game.
Philon short. His first miss. Here's Jakari Lane, a former star at North Alabama. Won a lot of games there at the mid-major level. Grew up in the state, relishing the opportunity to play on the biggest stage in his state. And Jemison again on the inside feed.
There you see, once again, the execution in the half-court set. And all it takes is one turnover that the Aggies create, and the momentum has now flipped to Texas A&M.
Allen relocates for three. And Bediako got tied up with Vincent. And that is the first foul on the Alabama 7-footer.
Jamie Vincent's done a really good job in a magnificent box out to draw the foul. But they got him action on this side, screen roll action. And you see Dominguez putting it right at the corner of the rim. And number 4 goes up top with the alley-oop. Really good job of executing after creating the turnover in that side out of bounds set.
And sharing the ball, which this team does so well. They play a beautiful brand of basketball. Already 8 assists on 9 made field goals tonight. Griffin drills a 3 off the screen by Agee.
That's a really good job. Now Alabama's going to have to consider making some adjustments with how they are guarding Rashawn Agee. Agee can do things in the pick and pop, but when you're sitting back deep in drop coverage, when he goes dribble handoff, there's no one there to support. Griffin strokes it from outside. And you can see Sherrell's back in drop coverage. And that's all the
turnover turned into a 7-0 run for the Aggies. Not an uncommon situation for this team this year. It has won 10 of its last 11 games. One loss over that stretch on the road in overtime against Tennessee.
For Alabama, it's about a 40-minute game of this activity. And this possession is really big coming after the break for the tie.
Philon had that tipped by Agee, scooped up by Jakari Lane. Kick out, Clements at 3. A&M leads.
And you see how quick that the Aggies are able to score, and jumping in the press once again.
And a foul on Clements.
Strokes one to give the Aggies the lead.
They have 7 threes in the first 12 minutes of this game. Sherrell off the back iron, Clements the rebound. A 10-0 Aggies run over the last 2 minutes.
Now watch the execution in the half-court set.
Agee hanging in the air, taking on Alabama. Faith Torres and company looking for their 4th national title in the last 5 years.
This total domination, that's going to be a big one.
Run out, Holloway fouled hard.
Off the catch. And defensively, he can be feisty as well. But Alabama's going to have a big-time performance for him to get this one done.
Still fiddling with that left hand, which took the brunt of the fall. Tied at 29, 6.5 to go in the first half, and a backdoor cut by Pop Isaacs.
Beautiful job right there by the Aggies, and the dime by Agee.
Jemison responds with a 3. Second of the game for the Alabama freshman.
Plenty of time left in this half-court set.
Isaacs feeling the defender on his back. So crafty in the lane, a veteran player.
It's the many facets of the game that Texas A&M is effective. And they took their time right there to get a good look.
Philon got his miss, out to Holloway. And here comes Isaacs, home run pass. Josh Holloway had it poked away by Reitzel. And now Aiden Holloway operating for Alabama. Draws a baseline. A&M has made its last 6 shots after getting down by as many as 9 midway through the first half. Josh Holloway pops and hits.
Notice when Alabama has this lineup in here with Charles Bediako, they're sitting back in drop coverage, and this Texas A&M squad is really good of identifying what they need to do to be effective. And there you see Holloway pulling up in the mid-range.
Eligible for now, though there is a hearing looming on Friday about his eligibility for the rest of the season.
Mainly the question in the matter is what is deemed as professional sports. And if you Nate Oates, he's saying there's several players that have professional sports experience, particularly abroad. And there's been a precedent set of G League players playing in the collegiate game after playing. You see going up top once again on that side screen roll action. Vincent with the alley-oop. But the game has changed, and now Bediako's a part of it. And he's going to have to be a difference maker for Alabama if he continues to be on the court.
One of those former overseas pros with a basketball. Ruben Dominguez. Meanwhile, Vincent has started red hot tonight for Texas A&M. 9 points, including that 3.
He's come right in and made a big difference.
Largest lead of the night for Texas A&M. Philon set back by Vincent. 7-0 Aggie run over the last 65 seconds. Here is Dominguez. Won a championship in Europe last year with his Spanish First Division team. A turnover gives it to Alabama. Allen, pitch out, Reitzel 3, got it.
Now that's a big bucket right there for Alabama, and when they needed it most. But it's the defensive end that they're going to have to pick things up. Texas A&M shooting 57% from the field in this game.
Amari Allen wants them to take a look at the beginning of this season for this team. Still a lot of basketball to play, though, for Alabama.
Well, this is a squad that can beat any team in the country. But what squad are you going to see on a night-in, night-out basis? And we've seen Alabama have some really big highs, and you've seen them having some really low lows. And they had it on the last outing against Florida and haven't been able to correct some of those things early on in this game against A&M.
AG defended by Sherrill. Excellent post matchup tonight. Sherrill wins that battle with a block.
And a good job rejecting that one with his left hand to get a little more extension.
And now Sherrill, spot up 3. Missed everything. Saved by Allen. Now 3-on-1 the other way. Lane tries a 3. Rims it out.
Look at this. You got the big man, Sherrill, handling the ball. This, if you're Alabama guards, you got to want to come get it to help him out.
Just relentless pressure by Rylan Griffin. And now 15 on the timer, side out of bounds for Alabama.
Not a bad job by Sherrill handling that ball pressure by Rylan Griffin. But if you're Alabama, it's every single possession. You have to have the focus and discipline to continue to bring the ball into the front court together.
Almost a 5-second call on Amari Allen trying to get the ball in. Aiden Holloway, a look at the shot clock. 5 to go for Bama. Zipped inside Sherrill, and there was a tug of the jerk.
And you can advance the ball for many ways, and oftentimes you see a lot of young players, they get it, and the first thing they do is have their head down and try to dribble through the press. But if you pivot and look and try to advance it by way of the pass, you can be much more effective.
Extra pass by Dominguez, and it pays off.
This one's poised for a really good one in the second half.
Good news for Alabama. Labaron Philon back on the floor after he exited for the final 44 seconds of the first half with an apparent thigh injury. inside Amari Allen, who had an excellent first half. And he is on the board to start the second frame.
And that's a good job as Texas A&M comes out and they show a little bit of zone action, and Alabama identifying where the soft spots are, and a good strong finish. And you see Amari Allen with that fake cut to the outside. He comes right through the chest of Rashawn Agee and able to finish with the traffic.
8 points, 3 assists, 2 boards for the 3-time SEC Freshman of the Week, Amari Allen. Hill, one of those contributors in the first half for A&M. And here's Agee, and he draws a foul on Sherrell. Now, he joined the conference in 2012.
And he's a big-time reason for that. A strong body play. Reminds me of a player from Connecticut, Jeff Adrian, in my time. Undersized, but plays like he's 7 foot.
High motor, great vocal leader, according to Bucky McMillan, whose team welcomed 14 new players this year. Dominguez inside Agee, draws a foul. Number 1, so just the 2 on Sherrell.
Well, in many ways, you want your team to obviously be out of foul trouble. But if you're forced to go small in a game like this, it's not a bad thing for Alabama.
Hill, what a rebound. Speaking of going small, that's 6'3", climbing the ladder. Rylan Griffin inside, and that could have been some contact. Agee takes it anyway.
You see the physicality. He was able to use his off arm to create a little bit of room and muscle that one home.
Reitzel takes the bump, left hand, cradling it to the cup. Nate Oates giving it to Lee Cassell. He thought there should have been a foul. Open 3, Hill. Allen beat by Jakari Lane. And there is a whistle by Steven Anderson. Boy, Nate Oates was not happy on that last drive to the bucket by Reitzel. He was giving it to Lee Cassell. This has been a back and forth affair all night since the opening tip. Alabama led by as many as 9. A&M then took a 6-point lead.
Well, look at this. You got to you guys are trying to jock for position. Now watch this press that Texas A&M. They got a 3-man on 2 right here. You can look for Rylan Griffin to jump into a trap.
And that's the 3rd foul on Marcus Hill. Now he and Allen have been going back and forth a little bit. Steven Anderson blew the whistle before that inbounds pass to sort of break it up.
Yeah, you see it, the chop down by Hill, and then Allen giving it right back to him. But if you're Marcus Hill, this is one where you want to keep your composure. You got 10 points in this game and 5 rebounds. He's a big factor for what Texas A&M is going to do. He had to keep his poise and continue to keep the pressure on for the Aggies.
Former JUCO All-American who's made 2 other stops on his way to College Station. A dog, in the words of Bucky McMillan. And there is Philon, who had just 2 made field goals in the first half, knocking it down from distance. And a foul on.
A little too handsy and physical, Millette. Both of these teams starting to feel a little bit of the energy in the building.
Agee blocked by Sherrell. Number 4.
That's one, if you're right, so you could have turned on the Jets and got all the way for the easy layup when you had the numbers in transition. Resulting in an air ball. Reitzel's finished with a strong left-hand layup in the paint. Continue that rhythm and take it all the way to the basket for the easy deuce.
Isaacs forces a 3. Didn't draw iron. Allen run out Reitzel. Spot up 3. Offensive rebound effort by Millette. They're going to tag him with the foul. And that's number 2 on the second-year transfer from Pepperdine. This is already the 4th team foul, Richard, on Alabama. Not even 3 minutes into the second half.
A little too aggressive there from Millette, trying to get that offensive rebound.
And it was interesting. Bucky McMillan talked to us pregame and said, look, none of the pressure is on us. We're 7-1. We're playing our 5th road game over the first 9 SEC games. We've got 5 home games during the back 9. We're in first place in the league right now, and nobody expected us to be here. All the pressure tonight feels like it's on an Alabama team that is outside of the top 25 for the first time in 2 years. They've lost 2 of 3, and there's some grumblings around Tuscaloosa about how good is this team really, being tested tonight by a very good Texas A&M team.
Well, they're really good, and they deserve far more respect than they're getting. They should be in the top 25 of both of the polls, and this is a team that knows if they get this win, I can expect to see some changes in the coming week. But they're not afraid of anyone, and Bucky McMillan is a supremely confident coach. And I think his experience that he had on the high school ranks, where you have multiple roster changes and styles that you have to adapt with, gives him an advantage when it comes to getting the most out of his personnel.
Grown man move by the freshman from Green Bay, Amari Allen. In double figures with 10.
This is where, and they throw that action over to their 5-man. Another physical foul there, as Dominguez knows how to draw one on Allen. And it's the little cat and mouse game that you have to learn how to play. You use the pressure of your team against you, and you can see Allen trying to fight over the top of that one. And Dominguez, you reach in, he sells it a little bit. That's a beautiful job offensively by Dominguez.
Alabama had just 3 fouls in the first half. They have 6 in the opening 3.5 minutes of the second half. One more, A&M will shoot free throws for the rest of the game. Josh Holloway.
It's clear that the message in halftime from Nate Oates was to pick it up defensively. If you're Alabama, you have to guard without fouling.
Nate Oates is arguing that should have been a continuation.
I think they tend to got the right call. It's the extra step at the last part by Allen will negate the continuation. But nonetheless, it's a baseline out of bounds opportunity for Alabama that they need to execute. They've had some success on their side out of bounds with the alley-oop over the top. But this is a team that's going to pressure into them and can create turnovers on these baseline out of bounds opportunities. So you have to be very careful for Bama.
Only 3 turnovers in the game for the Tide against an A&M team that leads the conference in turnover rate. Pop Isaacs to Deba. Isaacs for 3, knocks it in for A&M.
It's the extra effort, and the extra effort after the extra effort is what gets Texas A&M going. That offensive rebound, massive for the Aggies.
Constant pressure from Texas A&M. Aiden Holloway slipping past Rylan Griffin like a snake.
That was nasty. This is a beautiful job with the individual effort.
Wide open 3, Vincent. His first miss of the night. He had 9 points in the opening half off the bench.
That's where their adjustment might have to be made for Alabama. They have Bediako sitting back in drop coverage and allowing the big to do whatever he wants. Pressure might have to be applied from that 5 spot.
And a foul on the entry pass. A hold on Texas A&M.
Well, the shots have been flying, and it's the extra pass after the extra effort for A&M. Pops Isaacs lines one up from the outside. Getting down in the stance, sliding your feet, and using the proper angles in which that you can cut off your man, and then be physical at the point of attack when necessary.
Bediako draws a foul. He's headed to a great doubleheader, including a top 25 matchup between Ole Miss and Alabama. Bama seeking their 5th straight 20-win season under head coach Christy Curry.
And that should be a really good matchup. Head coach Christy Curry doing a phenomenal job with Alabama back in the top 25. and Coach Yo at Ole Miss. You talk about a contrast of styles. They play elite level defense, and the finesse of Alabama's offense, it's whichever one you want to watch, but it's going to be a good one.
Clemens with a 3, the 11th of the night for the Aggies. These two teams both rank inside the top 15 nationally in three-point attempts and makes. Alabama averaging 35 attempts a game. Philon rattles that one out and a whistle on the floor. It will go against Jakari Lane.
Tough
now the fouls mounting for the Aggies.
Tough assignment for Jakari Lane. Talented player transferred from North Alabama. Huntsville, Alabama native. Played for head coach Greg Brown at Lee High School. State champion caliber coach. He has a winning pedigree, and they've been leaning on his play at the point guard position all season.
That's great defense by Griffin. And a tie-up and some extracurriculars as Clements stands over Amari Allen.
And both of these teams understand the magnitude of this one. Texas A&M not backing down for anyone, and Clements ripping out that jump ball. The possession back to the Aggies.
Backdoor feed. Isaacs missed, and he's down behind the plate. Numbers for Alabama. Catch and shoot 3. Holloway drills it from the corner.
Well, that's a big basket that Alabama needed the most, and Isaacs not able to convert on that backdoor cut. Alabama with numbers coming down 5-on-4, able to take the advantage. This is a big point in the game right here. Alabama's trying to see if they can get some things going. A&M has weathered all of the storms that Alabama has tried to put together. We see them execute once again.
Rebound effort by
shooting bonus.
Pair of makes for Griffin. A starter on Alabama's Final Four team in 2024. A lot of connections in this game between A&M and the state of Alabama, and of course this program with Rylan Griffin. Millett from downtown.
Houston Millett has made some clutch plays for Alabama when they needed him. He's had the tip-out pass for the assist, a big bucket, and then you see again Jakari in the game. He might be deemed as undersized, but trust me, he's not undersized when it comes to effort and heart. And he's been a big piece of this team of why Texas A&M is at the top of the standings.
Millett catch and shoot. Bediako tap out. Holloway reloads. And a whistle underneath with Tennessee. They got a victory last night on Rocky Top.
The swing after the technical and the 2 free throws there for Texas A&M. And if you're Alabama, with A&M in the bonus and shooting free throws, the way to combat that is to get in the bonus yourself. You have to be a little bit more physical and spirited on your drives and draw fouls, and then that softens up the defense and it's an even game.
5 to shoot. Aiden Holloway defended by Federico. Deep 3 Reitzel. A&M in the midst of a 6-0 run, despite no field goals over the last 3 minutes. Until a Diva 3.
That's a big shot right there. And the look off that he gave to the wing froze the defender and gave him the space that he needed to knock that shot down.
Millett knocks in a response. Houston Millett in double figures with 12.
Well, Millett has made the response bucket every single time. And it looks like Texas A&M is going to try to make a timeout here to see if they can come up with some strategy to keep their momentum going. An early good job on the kick out. And you see Deba lining one up and knocks it down. And Houston Millette's been able to hit some big baskets. And ultimately, what do you want your legacy to be? And Alabama is a team and a program that has a bullseye on them. People want to beat them, and they're a talented team. And here they are with a point in the season that they have to make a stand. In a wide-open SEC, this is a must-win situation for the Tide if they're going to keep the pace.
Hill back into the game with 3 fouls for Texas A&M. 4 to shoot. Feeds A.G., who draws a foul on Mo.
It's a lot to worry about because offensively you have to figure out how you're going to attack the defense of Texas A&M. See good defensive work here so far by the Aggies.
Sherrill, offensive rebound, foul on the floor against A&M. That is number 6 on the Aggies, and the second on Rashawn Agee.
There's an area you're going to get back into the game for Alabama. It's going to have to be with your offensive rebound. You have a size advantage, and you know that the shot is coming up from the 3-ball. So you have to do a really good job of trying to watch the rotation of the ball and find where it's going to go and position yourself for the offensive rebound putback.
Aiden Holloway got his own miss. Third opportunity this trip down the floor. Jamison cannot pay it off. 3 3-point misses for Alabama on that trip. Have not shot it with the same efficiency as they did in the first half. They made 9 threes over the opening 20 minutes. Holloway right past Dominguez with a right hand.
That's a good decision right there for Alabama. Aiden Holloway taking it all the way to the basket. You're going to have opportunities when you beat the press of Texas A&M. And if the rim protection is not there, you got to be thinking that you're going to finish with the layup.
Lane probing, lost his handle, back out, still 10 to shoot. Hill, power hop, got it in the foul. Marcus of his game to be part of a winning team. A chance to make a run in the NCAA tournament, which he has never before. 1-1 for Jamison. Ball was last touched by A&M, so it'll stay here. And if you're Alabama, this is perhaps the turning point game that Nate Oates build it at Auburn. Major rivalry game, of course, against an Auburn team that has found something, Richard. Then you're at Ole Miss. Never an easy place to play. You've got a top 25 Arkansas team at home coming up down the stretch. Inside Sherrill, rejected by Griffin, but
shooting from all of your positions. Clements has been able to knock down 2 3-pointers. You have to know where he is as they get ready to execute in their half-court offense.
And he's found it with Bucky McMillan.
Well, Kansas didn't fit his play style, and now he's in a system that will accent what he's able to do, and Rylan Griffin has been able to be impactful for the Aggies.
Holloway almost lost it. Hounded here by Lane, and he has to burn a timeout.
Mentally, and if you're Alabama, it all starts with the attitude. You have to have the proper attitude to get the ball inbounds, and you have to want the ball. And then when you get it, can you play through the physicality for the entire shot clock and find a quality shot?
2 to shoot. Philon had to hoist, and he hits. Finally in double figures with 10. The 4th leading scorer in the SEC makes it a 3-point game. Offensive rebound, diving on the floor. A.G. and a jump ball, arrow to the Tide.
Good job by A.G. getting on the deck, trying to come up with it, but the possession arrow going to the Tide. And you can see the ball moving, and that pump fake right there by Philon gives him the space he needs to get the big man off the ground, and he strokes a huge three. And this is where Alabama needs Labaron Philon to turn it up. He has to hit the ball in his hand, and you have to have a spirited mentality to try to be a part of the press breaker to get the ball in your hands. They got Marcus Hill on you, who's playing all-out deny defense, making it difficult for you. You have to step up and see if you can make the play to initiate the offense.
Holloway took the ball and the foul. Tied at 77. Nate Oates pumping up the crowd, coming to its feet at Coleman Coliseum.
That's a really.
Holloway gives Alabama the lead. Griffin a three. Knocks it in to silence this crowd of 12,000.
Really good job. And it's once again, you use the screen of AG when Alabama's back deep, and Griffin cans another one.
Philon driving on Clements. Walled off, still 10 to shoot. Allen off the bounce. Kick out. Philon from downtown.
Well, that's a big-time answer right there for Alabama. Labaron Philon starting to heat up with some big shots when they need them most. But look at the execution of the Aggies. The patience in that they can handle the crowd noise and make the right read.
And Jakari Lane on the read by AG.
That's beautiful right there. And Jakari Lane, he set up that V-cut like he was coming to receive the ball, and then a dime on the back door, pinpointed pass by Rashawn Agee. Phenomenal.
His third assist of the game. Go along with 15 points. Philon, step through, kiss off the window.
And now with both of these teams in the bonus, you're going to see a little bit more execution offensively. And now defensively for Alabama, you can't allow Rashawn Agee to just catch this ball and operate without any pressure. It's like a quarterback in the pocket. You got to make it hot on him. If he can stand back and pass, he's going to do that all night.
Up and under won't go for Lane. Trying to get back into the play. Philon. Walled off by Hill, who's played excellent defense on Philon all night.
Really good defense by Hill.
And a whistle as Sherrill exits for now to a standing ovation.
And Alabama getting a little bit of full court pressure, token pressure. And it's the chess match of both of these two coaches. Last 5 minutes. Who's going to be the last one standing?
Isaac's turnaround floater short. Holloway the rebound. And he's fouled by Isaacs.
Watching it, that's for sure.
As we have enjoyed watching this one tonight. Here is Jakari Lane on the handoff. There was some contact there, no call. Allen, Philon, Reitzel on the drive. Floater is good.
Alabama's in a rhythm. It's over 4 to go in this one. They're starting to hit their groove offensively.
AG banks it in when you needed it to stop an 8-0 Bama run.
He's going to always make sure he makes the baskets that they need, making it a 5-point ball game. But it's going to be the execution for Alabama on the offensive side.
Allen just misses out on him. Offensive rebound, Bediako.
This lineup, you have switched down on the outside. Agee, the rim should be open.
Almost a pick by Lane. Great defense by A&M's point guard. and he wins it back for the Aggies, who had just missed out on a defensive rebound that would have finished the possession.
That's a terrific job right there by Jakari Lane. And he saw the ball and went right after it to tie it up. That's a really big possession to win right there for Texas A&M. After the missed free throw and the offensive rebound, a phenomenal response.
Alabama has made its last 6 shots. What does A&M have here with 3:40 to go and 1 timeout left? A foul called on Reitzel. Bench with 4 fouls as Josh Holloway comes on. Reitzel thought about it.
And he missed the alley-oop to Bediako. That's a missed decision right there. Alabama had an easy layup if he would have passed it to Bediako down low. A 4-point game. Texas A&M looking to take advantage.
Holloway pitch, AG double clutch and lays it in.
And there you see, jumping back into the press.
A&M's leading scorer with a game-high 19 points. 2-point game, 3 minutes to go. Allen tried to feed it inside to Bediako. Now Josh Holloway up ahead. Hill nails the reverse to tie it at 91.
Well, what Texas A&M doing is attacking the basket. And you know, both teams in the bonus. And here they are. And that's a savvy play. Bediako draws that foul right there.
In the double bonus, the arrow points to the Aggies. Jakari Lane back into the game at point guard with 4 fouls.
It's a big possession here for Alabama.
Reitzel. You didn't like that shot.
No, Alabama could have got a much better shot in that possession. You have to understand the tone of the game. And you've been fighting after Texas A&M just went on a 6-0 run. You took the lead with the Bediako free throw. You don't want to give it right back because there you see Marcus Hill taking advantage in a beautiful strong-bodied move with the physicality.
Philon on the drive, takes it right into the chest of Lane for 2.
Now this is how you play the game, and both of these teams have to know. No one wants to foul. If you're Texas A&M, attack the basket. Something will be there.
AG banks it in. A 21-point performance for Rashawn Agee. Philon back the other way. Left it short. Bobby's on the deck for the ball, and it's going back to the Aggies.
We touched on the strong and spirited drives, and A&M in the screen roll. Agee finishing through the contact, and this one is a big basket, but it looks like it's going to be flipped around as this call was reversed out of bounds off of Texas A&M. Baseline out of bounds opportunity for Alabama.
And that's a big reversal because Nate Oates does not have any challenges remaining. He was unsuccessful with his challenge in the first half. So a second life here for Alabama on this possession. Reitzel pays it off from distance.
That's a huge shot by Latrell Reitzel.
1 minute remaining.
Two-man game with Agee.
Reitzel on the break. And we'll pull it back out. Less than 45 seconds to play in Tuscaloosa.
That was a clean look for Texas A&M. One, if you're Lane, you wish you had that one back. Wide open. If you're Alabama, you got to attack the basket.
5 to shoot for Holloway. Trying to get around Hill. Jarred loose. Floater. Count him in the foul! Come on!
The made free throw so important to play quality defense for Alabama, and a miss.
Great rebound by Rylan Griffin. Door still open for A&M. Don't need a 3. Hill takes it quickly to the hoop. And a timeout taken by Bucky McMillan.
On the ball, and Clements back deep.
Allen does get it into Philon. Diba all over him, as is Federico. 5 seconds off the clock. Ball on the deck. One back by A&M. Now the arrow points to Bama, and it's a tie-up. Boy, 10